Good morning everybody, welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on Ethereum. We're going to do a full update. I'll talk a little bit about the fundamentals for Ethereum, we'll talk about the technicals, and I'll tell you what I personally expect for Ethereum, which so far has been doing quite well. Obviously the fundamentals have been slightly better, I would say. Especially with the stablecoin bill, which is ultimately quite good for Ethereum. We spoke about that yesterday as well, right? But if you did not watch that video, Ethereum is the biggest host and the biggest network for stablecoins, right? So if stablecoins actually gain more traction, and if they're implemented more widely, and if there's going to be more usage, ultimately Ethereum is going to profit from that. Now I have to say that even though fundamentally that's quite good, and then if you take a look at some technical measures, like ETH BTC, you can also see ETH BTC is holding on relatively well. Like this is the best ETH BTC has held on. I would argue since a very, very long time. Maybe the ETF news in 2024. Now ultimately that did not end well, because ultimately we actually did still break down then. But during no other time Ethereum ETH BTC has held on like this. So it's not only fundamentals, no, it's also technicals giving us a little bit more confidence in a potential bullish continuation for Ethereum. Even if Bitcoin doesn't rally up, even though I think Bitcoin also, if you zoom out, is holding on very well, right? So I don't think that's something we need to worry about necessarily either. But still, so no, fairly positive or optimistic about Ethereum. Do we see it in the metrics right now? Not necessarily. All right. So if you look at the TVL, yes, that has increased since May, but ultimately it has been relatively flat since then. And the DEX trading volumes have also increased since May, so that's also good to see, but it's not higher than what it was in January and February. So yeah, fundamentally a little bit mixed still, but that's good to know. And then technically, Ethereum is within the same range we've been talking about for a very long time already, and that is mostly, or at least the value area, is between 2640 and 2470, right? And then the ultimate range is a little bit wider. You can see Ethereum has very often tested the yearly rolling VWAP right here, but also the support level right here at 2400. And now the main question is that, all right, well, Ethereum is deviating on top of that value area again. So it's trying to break out of value. Do we actually have a chance to do that right now, or do we have a chance to successfully break out? And on the one hand, fundamentally, and looking at ETH BTC specifically, I would say the answer is yes. And I think in general, you should always be open for all moves, right? So you should always know what all the different moves are and that they are likely. However, I mean, what we're looking for with Ethereum right now is not only a break above value. No, we're looking for a break above the yearly rolling VWAP, which is a very strong resistance level. And we don't only want to break out, we also want to hold that as support. Something we failed to do right here on Thursday the 29th, so last week Thursday. So this is what we want to see, right? And then a move into 2850 and potentially higher, right? I mean, if we actually are able to break above the yearly rolling VWAP, I mean, the last time we did that was also around this level, and then we instantly rallied another 18% afterwards. It's a pretty major breakout, right? So then we could rally higher as well. However, even though there are reasons to suspect that this is a possibility, I would still go against it. And that is for the simple reason that at this point of time, we do not have the breakout yet. All right, we don't have the technical confirmation that Ethereum has broken out. And I would argue, if you take a look at, like, yes, the leverage is increasing right here. So there is some leverage being pumped into Ethereum. In this case, I don't think that's too bad. It's not unhealthy for the price. The funding rates are still very good, but the volume is quite low. All right, and I do think if I look back at every breakout that Ethereum has had, we at least saw a shift or a growth in relative volume compared to the last 2 weeks. And at this point of time, if you compare this move to the move we had last week, for example, the volume is much, much lower. So therefore, do I think this is a possibility? Yes. Do I think it is most likely? For now, no. For now, I think it's more likely we're going to go up there, but we'll find resistance and then maybe even pull back all the way to the bottom of the range again. those are my thoughts, all right, based on what I see from the technicals. Now, if I do think a breakout is possible, I'll be the first to tell you, but for now, I think this is the best I can tell you regarding Ethereum. So hopefully it helps. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and bye.